Hi, this is Sonia Penny with Pennies from Heaven, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card that I posted it on my blog a few weeks ago, and I got a few requests on how did I make it, and got a good response from it. So I'm going to show you today how I made this card. Just took an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and I cut it in half, and now I'm going to fold it again. And this is your card base. It's a basic 5.5 by 4 1/4 card base. I'm going to use some summer star fruit, some pool party, and basic black. With the basic black, I'm going to emboss the images on here using Versamark, which is kind of like a sticky glue on an ink pad. Now I'm going to just ink them up. And you can stamp kind of randomly, it's okay. There's no particular order that I used. Just kind of get them on there. And now I'm going to use the embossing powder. This is a Stampin' Up Whisper White embossing powder. So I'm just going to drizzle it onto my image. I'm trying really hard to stay close to the edge so I don't smudge it. It's kind of hard with this little piece. I probably would have done better to start with a larger piece of paper and then cut it down. Okay, now I'm going to take my heat gun. Okay. Ink is going to cover some of that off. So now going to take my stamping pad. It's Whisper White. It is a craft ink, and the difference between a regular ink and a craft ink is this is more like a chalk base. It's going to give you a little bit more coverage. And I just took a water pen, and what I'm going to do is take the craft pad and stamp some onto the corner of acrylic block. That way I can load up my pen, and you're just going to go in and color your flower in. And I just kind of smudge it around. It's very, very simple. Okay, and that's how you get your flower base. Now I'm going to go in with my Summer Star Fruit Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to color the centers in. And because you have the embossing and you have the white chalk, it kind of helps this color stand out a little bit more. Alright, so next I'm going to take some Pool Party, and what I'm going to do is punch out an edge just to give it a little bit of a trim. Put that away. Okay. So anyway, you end up with a trim like this. And so I'm just going to cut a piece of this off. And you see I've trimmed that down. And I'm just going to mount it onto my black. A little bit. I just want a slight bit of blue. I don't want too much. I'm going to turn it over so I don't smudge anything. Alright, now the sentiment. I'm just going to take a little scrap piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to use some Stays On ink. I'm just going to ink it up and stamp my sentiment. Now we're going to do some cutting with the Big Shot. Now, as you can see, these two pieces are the exact same size. So in order for them to, one to kind of highlight the other, I'm going to cut one in half and make an optical illusion. So I'm just going to take this and some scissors and cut it in half. Okay. And so that'll leave a little gap in the middle, but I'm going to cover that with string. And I'm going to punch a hole right here. And I actually have a piercing mat, but I'll just use a little corner of a mouse pad right now. I'm going to punch a hole here. And to make that hole really deep, I take my paper piercer and I go in there and I just go like that to widen it a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to put it so that it reaches about right there. Or so. Oops, sorry. Okay. And I'm leaving a bit of a border around the outside edge. Again, I'm going to turn it over so I don't smudge the image. Okay. Now I'm ready to thread this. This might take a minute because okay. And we're going to clip that off and we're going to clip this off. These little guys really come in handy. This is a long staple of Stampin' Up! And they've been around a long time because they're just really good to use. So I'm just going to grab a couple of those, slide this about right here, and just stick it right under the thank you. Okay. Now we're ready to mount it onto our card base. Alright, so I'm going to take it and just mount it. And there you have it. And you can see the inside is nice and clean. And that's how you do it. Thanks for watching.